Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ottawa Board of Trade Business After 5 networking event. I'm Jared Goldsmith. Thank you for working with eSAX virtual events. Can everybody hear and see me right now? And you see Cassandra on stage? You can make a note in the chat feature at the top right of the screen under chat. Oh, thank you, Heather. Barry, thank you very much. Geraldine, great. Now, at this time, all of your cameras and microphones are currently muted. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just off at this moment while we are in presentation mode. Wow, that's a big mug, Cassandra. I wish I had something like that. The previous networking lobby mode is not available at this time. Sit back, relax. We have a great lineup for you and for some quality networking. Cassandra, please unmute, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jared, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening for our June Business After 5 virtual networking. We're thrilled to offer this to you on the eSAX virtual platform. Thanks to Jared and eSAX as our sponsor. So thank you so much for your continued support. I hope you all enjoy your evening of networking. I'd like to open with a few updates on the Ottawa Board of Trade. But first, I would like to start with a land acknowledgement for our Indigenous people. And please pardon me, I am reading from the right. I apologize for the camera angle. I have two monitors. Ottawa is built on unceded Algonquin Anishinaabe territory. The peoples of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation have lived on this territory for millennia. Their culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this land. The Ottawa Board of Trade honors the peoples and land of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. The Ottawa Board of Trade honors all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples and their valuable past and present contributions to this land. So I will give you a few updates on the Ottawa Board of Trade and what's happening. And I am reading from notes, so you'll have to excuse me. So I'll start by first sharing that we'll be continuing to advocate for support for small to medium-sized enterprises and the hardest hit sectors. So as many of you may already be aware, the Ottawa Board of Trade is the voice for business. We are here to support you at all three levels of government and to advocate on behalf of the businesses and the community that we serve to support your growth. That is why we exist. And we offer a number of resources such as networking and discount programs, as many of you are aware, and opportunities to sponsor events and grow your business and share your brand, as well as volunteer on committees to continue to support that growth piece. So as we work towards the change of reopening and keeping business open, I just wanted to share with you that we will continue to advocate for changes in the framework and to ensure that they will carry us through this process. We believe that businesses that are following all health unit protocols should remain open regardless, and that is our focus. We're here to support all industries and especially those hardest hit sectors, which we're well aware has been a challenging year. There are different programs in place, and I'd like to highlight for you a program that the Ottawa Board of Trade has partnered with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce and the Canadian Chamber of Commerce to bring to you. And that's a representation of the work that we do and advocate at all three levels of government through your chambers and boards of trade. So the Rapid Test Distribution Clinic, you may have heard, we partnered with our wonderful community partner, Invest Ottawa, and that's located at Bayview Yards. And we kicked that off. We have some excellent updates for you. We've already supplied 26,000 kits to our businesses, to 265 local businesses, and that was in 12 days. So thank you to the business community for investing in supporting the confidence and reopening for both your employees as well as your clientele, and focusing on the health unit's recommendations and following all the health and safety protocols. As you may be aware, our sponsor this evening is Get Ready Global, who you will hear from later. Scott Ashley is here. I'll provide an intro before he joins me on screen, but I just wanted to share with you that they have a wonderful screening tool that he'll share that can also support your business as you focus on reopening and staying open. That is our goal. So I will just add, if you have any challenges or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are here to listen to you. We're a two-way communication. We want to hear the challenges you're having with economic development and advocacy, and it's our role to be your voice for business and represent you to advocate for change. We have a couple of announcements that you can look forward to. We are continuing to focus on the post-promise. So you'll hear that come out in the next few weeks. And next week, look forward to a big announcement supporting to buy local. There'll be a campaign that we've partnered with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce and the province. And also I wanted to share with you an update that the Ontario Chamber of Commerce put out a report. We're well aware that talent continues to be a challenge. As you may know, we are sponsoring next week's event, the Employer Learning Forum, put on by Hire Immigrants Ottawa. And our own James Baker, who is co-chair of our Talent Council, will be representing the Ottawa Board of Trade speaking at that event. So it's a topic that we're well aware of. We're cognizant of the challenges we're having in the community. And we had the report come out from the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, and there will be some skills training available for small to medium-sized enterprises. So if you have any questions, reach out to us. If you're not following our newsletter, I would invite you to please subscribe to our weekly newsletter so you can receive updates like this on a weekly basis. And you can always reach out to us. And I just wanted to say, please save the date for the 23rd of September. The Ottawa Board of Trade will have our AGM, our annual general meeting, and we will be rolling out the new strategic plan at that meeting as well. So you're all invited. We would love to have you there, and please save the date, September 23rd. So that's what I have for our updates. I would like to, first of all, thank our sponsors, eSAX Virtual Networking, and we have Okobia and Argea, our community partners. Thank you so much for your continued support for our community. And also, I will follow with an introduction. Of course, Get Ready Global, our sponsor this evening, who will you hear from next. So I would like to introduce Scott. And again, I'll be reading from my other monitor. I apologize for turning. I'll introduce you to Scott and Get Ready Global. So Scott has over 12 years experience in EMS from his early years as a paramedic in Alberta, Los Angeles, Toronto, and for 8 years as a critical care flight paramedic on the air ambulance Bandage One helicopter based in Toronto. In 2011, he co-founded Get Ready, a professional services firm that provides relevant emergency management, emergency operations centers, business continuity planning, and pandemic programs. For 10 years, Get Ready has developed a Canadian-based incident management cloud-based platform to enable businesses, hospitals, and all levels of government to easily access their information on desktop or through native apps on mobile devices. These instant access tools and situational awareness dashboards have been an industry game changer. In 2018, Get Ready became a National Research Council IRAP partner, IRAP partner, and continues to provide federal support for their innovation, our innovation. In March of 2021, Scott was invited to sit on the Canadian Chamber of Commerce business-led COVID-19 Recovery Council, and he led as a leading IPAC expert with 23 other high-profile CEOs. As well, Scott is a co-founding member of the FedDev-sponsored Niagara Falls Ryerson Innovation Hub, Safe Site Global Consortium. Due to COVID-19, every workplace now needs an infection prevention and control, or IPAC, program. Modeled after the Get Ready Hospital Pandemic Program, Get Ready's team of experts provides non-healthcare organizations a complete IPAC-ready program and certification that includes workplace and employee risk assessments, PPE requirements, online IPAC and health and safety training, daily screening tools, training for rapid antigen testing, and Scott and Get Ready provide incident response support to the clients of the world-class POPI pathogen monitoring team. Thank you, Scott, for being here, and I will turn it over to you.
Well, geez, that's thank you very much, Cassandra. It's a pleasure to be here, and you know, it's these are strange times, and people are wondering, and they're uncertain, and you know, I think we've been able to help a lot of organizations just shed some light, and you know, this is going to be achievable. You know, I always say hospitals have had an infection prevention control program for, you know, forever, and now due to COVID, workplaces need it too. And so it's achievable, it's doable, and we've just we really try to think of things that'll operationalize it. We're not into the big policy documents. It's more, now what do we do? Now what do we do? And what are the checklists that staff, that managers, that business owners have to follow? Who do they have to contact? What's the communications look like? And things like that, to really make it simple and achievable. People don't want to read an 80-page policy document on IPAC. They want to know, what do I do when someone phones in sick? And so that's the kind of process that we really go through. So I think we're going to start off. We have a short little video, and it's just really on the screening program. Screening is a really important piece, and there's actually two parts to it. And I'm not going to tell the whole story because the video is very short, but it'll tell you that. But you have to check and see the people that are coming on site and make sure that they pass the assessment questions and that they're probably not COVID positive. So there's two kinds though. There's active and passive. Passive is when you see the checklist and you say, no, I'm good, and you're allowed in, and no one records your information, your contact name, anything like that. Active screening is when they actually record the information and your contact information and whether you passed or not. And that's important because down the road, a week later, if someone does test positive or you do have an outbreak, you need to be able to notify the people who may have been in contact with that person. And that's why the active screening is really critical. And there's different ways of doing it on paper and different things or digitally. And we try to promote the digital side just because it's quick, it's easy, and it reduces the risk of having to touch pens and paper and stuff like that. So it's hopefully it's something that a lot of you have in place. But if you don't, or you're not sure, the pros and cons of some of these things, then we can always talk later about that. So I think that's all I'm going to say now. Why don't we just watch the video, and then we can go from there.
Thank you, Scott. Scott, if you would like to come back up on stage, please unmute your camera and microphone. And depending on how fast your internet is, you'll pop right back up. Same thing with Sandra.
There we are.
Great, thank you.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Scott. Sorry, please, over to you. I just thought I would jump in.
So, listen, I think, it's an interesting thing. And, what I don't want to do tonight is give a big, long, drawn out presentation. I think, it's important that people understand some of the terminology. We have a new little instructional, educational video coming out next week, and it's really on the 4 pillars of infection prevention and control. And one is personal safety, which is things like screening and, PPE and cleaning and disinfecting protocols and things like that. But it's also then testing or screening, I should say. It's testing like the rapid antigen test or the PCR test. It's the vaccine program. And all of these pillars need each other. One is, you can't just run with one. You need, it's like spokes in the wheel. The more spokes, the stronger the wheel. And it's really important that people have a complete integrated program. And so we often hear especially with the rapid antigen testing that's coming out now, people are saying, well, we have a screening program. Well, screening people and asking them questions is different than testing them. And the rapid antigen test is actually determined and looking for that asymptomatic shedder. So you could screen your staff, and let's just say you had 10 staff, and they all pass, they're all fine, they come in, they don't have any signs and symptoms, they haven't been in contact with someone who's sick, they haven't been out of the area, the typical questions, and they pass. So the 10 people come in the office. They estimate 30 to 50% of all the transmission of COVID is through what's called asymptomatic shedders. And an asymptomatic shedder is someone who simply doesn't have the signs and symptoms, but they have the virus and they are spreading it. So while you can screen people and identify those who are obviously sick or potentially, COVID positive, the ones that pass the test and are allowed in, those are the ones that we wanted to give the rapid antigen test to, because it's the one that in 15 minutes you'll know the results, and it's looking for the presence of a protein. So when you swirl this in your nose, you put it in the solution. In 15 minutes, you'll know if that protein is present. The protein it's looking for can only survive on a living COVID virus. So if there is no virus, there's no protein. And so it's that simple. It's just a very simple protein check. It's an antigen check, and that's it. And you either have it or you don't. And it's very accurate. It's very simple. You don't need medical people to do it, and you know the results in 15 minutes. So once you've screened your staff, then you can then give them the rapid antigen test, and you now know with greater certainty and confidence that the people who are coming in not only passed the screening, but they also passed the rapid antigen test, which means they do not have the virus. That is just huge in terms of creating staff confidence and customer confidence and so on. So that's really, it's just important to be thinking about those two things. Some of the key words are screening versus testing, and then the types of screening: passive, where you don't record their information, and active, where you do record their information. So down the road, if there is a problem, you can rapidly and easily get information out to them or work with public health on the contact tracing. Anyways, that's really the story today. I'll just mention one other thing. We are working with a company called Poppy, and Poppy has a pathogen monitoring system that actually evaluates the air and surfaces for the presence of pathogens, including COVID. And so you can confirm that your systems are working, your screening is working, your PPE, if you have customers coming in and you're cleaning and disinfecting and all those protocols, you can actually confirm that those are working. So those are the interesting things that we've been working on, and it's making a big difference to our clients. And thank you very much for allowing us to be here tonight and letting us participate.
Thank you, Scott. I just, before we kick off the networking and the rest of the evening, I just wanted to say thank you for sponsoring this event on behalf of our community. I want to send that appreciation. It's wonderful to have you here and to learn about the Get Ready screening tool and all the amazing work that you do with your organization. I've dropped a note in the Q&A just to let everyone know that we are partnered with Get Ready Global, and we have the screening tool offered to you, our membership. So please contact us if you'd like to get started or if you have any questions. And on that note, just before we get started, I wanted to share that all of our affinity programs, for your awareness, are designed to provide our membership with resources to support their business's growth and to continue to support your business as you grow. And when you enroll in these programs, for your awareness, the Ottawa Board of Trade receives a small commission, which we then put back into the organization as a nonprofit organization to continue to do the work we do to support you, our business community. So thank you for supporting your business and enrolling in these programs, and also for giving back to us. Now, I think, Jared, we're ready to kick off the networking.
Great, thank you, Cassandra. My favorite subject, how did you know? Now, I'm going to share my screen with you all to show you how it works. Okay, folks, so just in a moment, we're going to go back to the networking lobby mode. Actually, Trevor, Scott, and Cassandra, thanks for being my guinea pig. I did take a screenshot with us to show you how it works. Now, everybody is represented by an avatar. You are sitting at a table. You have no choice. You are sitting at a table. When your cameras and microphones are on, people's pictures will show up at the top of your screen. Keep in mind that you're only interacting with people who are in the same table as you. So in this case, all of us are sitting at the table here. These are the people who have their cameras and microphones on. You could see other people sitting in different tables represented by their avatars. You could hover your mouse over, see who they are, send them a private message if you wish, which opens up a new tab every time. And if you wish to join them, you double click. You immediately exit your current table. You end up in the table, that new table, and then you're only interacting with people in the new table. That's about as hard as it gets, folks. And this is what I do. eSAX virtual events, happy to make your events shine. We'll go back to the networking, and the floor is open for about an hour and 20 minutes. Any questions, you can note them in the general chat, and my staff and I will be happy to help you out. Thanks again, Ottawa Board of Trade, and we look forward to connecting. Have a great event.